Chapter 19.
Fool of a dragon! Sevrin growled as he wandered his field. The blackened stalks of barley he and his father had not yet cleared crackled when he passed them and crumbled when he touched them. Not even the birds will pick off what's left. I knew I shouldn't have saved it. He kicked one of the stalks, watching it explode in a black cloud of ash. It's destroying the city! I thought Mrs. Daisy had to be mistaken when she told me her tale, but now it's attacked Taylor Street and Smith Row. Over and over, day after day. At this rate, the princess is sure to dispatch knights to slay the thing. Sevrin clutched his hair. I can't let the dragon die, not after I saved it. But it's destroying everything. This is my fault. It's all my fault. I should have left it in the trap. Even as he said those words, Sevrin knew he didn't mean them. No creature, no matter how foul or duplicitous, deserved to die in such a trap. Maybe it's not the same dragon. The one I saved seems so intelligent. It's been weeks since I saw it last. Why would it start attacking after so long? A rustle in the trees caught Severin's attention. Grabbing his sickle, he swung around to the noise. While his farm's placement on the edge of the forest provided a perfect opportunity for slacking off and searching for plants, it also brought wild animals into close proximity. Psst! Came a voice, a large gravelly one, hardly a whisper. Sevrin knew the voice. It can't be. Psst! Two eyes appeared around the tree trunks underneath the canopy. Human, over here! A scaly hand beckoned to him. Sevrin gripped his sickle and strode toward the woods. If it was a dragon who had been destroying the city... The dragon stood amongst the trees, grinning as Sevrin approached. Hello again, human. Please tell me you're not the same dragon who has been ravaging the city. Sevrin gripped the sickle so hard it shook in his hands. So you did notice. Brilliant, isn't it? The dragon placed a claw on its chest. Fine work, I think. I would have started sooner, but I had to wait for my leg to heal. It turned its leg out for Sevrin to see. The wound had healed, but there was a ring of pink flesh where there should have been green scales. My scales will take a while to grow back, but your dressing worked wonders. He held Severin's cloak out. Sevrin glared at the cloak. I didn't save you so you could start hurting people, dragon. What kind of dragon do you think I am? It's a little mayhem. I'm not harming anyone. It shook the cloak at Sevrin. Don't you want this? A little mayhem? Not harming anyone? Sevrin snatched the cloak. You're destroying our city. You damaged Miss Daisy's stall as well as the other merchants there. You're devastating the buildings. That harms people, dragon. Why don't you... Sevrin? His father's voice cut through the air. Sevrin, son? It's my father. Sevrin waved his hands. You have to leave. If anyone finds out I was the one who rescued you... Say no more. The dragon walked into the forest. What are you doing? Fly! So everyone can see me take off? The dragon scowled over its shoulder. You have no brains at all, do you? Sevrin watched it lumber through the trees. Sevrin? Its father put a hand on Severin's shoulder. Yeah! Sevrin swung around. Father, yes! Tiburon narrowed his eyes as he examined Sevrin. Are you all right? Sevrin glanced at the woods. The dragon had disappeared. Yes, father, I'm fine. His father peered into the woods. Is there a wild animal in there? There are always wild animals in the woods, father. Sevrin forced a laugh. I suppose. Tiburon stole another look at Sevrin, but shook his head. Son, I need you to help us rebuild the enclosure for Terrenhall sheep. If they continue to roam in the open fields, the dragon will return to us. It's turned its attention to the city for a moment, but it's only a matter of time until it will try for mutton again. Severin's stomach turned. None of this would be a concern if it wasn't for him. Father, about the dragon, Never mind, Sevrin. Tiburon smiled, making the corner of his eyes wrinkle. I know you would have done something if you could have. Let's leave this problem for the noblemen, eh? Make them earn their keep for once. Sevrin nodded, though his insides churned. I'll gather my tools and come presently. We need to hurry. Tiburon turned to the city, with the castle spires visible from all the way out here. The princess has announced a meeting with the knights. She wants as many people as possible to attend. Even us peasants? Especially us peasants, if your mother's reading of the proclamation is correct. The princess wants to hear our experiences with the dragon. Perhaps it will help her figure out what to do. Timon stopped to gaze at the spires. Whatever the case, we need the knights to act. It's time for them to show their mettle. You said they did nothing but swing their swords all day. Sevrin smirked at him. Change your mind about nobles? Tiburon fell silent for a long while. No, he said finally, but I have changed my mind about her. Never has a royal shown so much concern over the lowest of her people. She's inviting us into her home to ask our advice on how she can help us. I can respect such a princess. Yeah, Sevrin looked down as his cheeks colored. She's wonderful. There's only a limited amount of room inside the castle. We'll have to get there as soon as possible, so let's get Terranhal's enclosure built, yeah? Tiburon clapped Severin's back before heading into the house. Then maybe we can finish clearing the field, he muttered as he walked off among the barley stalks, sighing at the wreckage. Sevrin clutched the front of his tunic as he watched his father retreat. None of this would be happening if not for him. What an interesting human. The dragon reappeared beside Sevrin once Tiburon was out of sight. Sevrin jumped out of his skin, but the dragon continued on. He has not yet finished dealing with his own property, yet he helps his neighbor sort out his. I can't decide if he's foolish or kind. Sevrin stared at the dragon. Where did you come from? It's my scales. The dragon held up its claw to the trees. It seemed to disappear, but as Sevrin squinted, he could make out its outline. Do you think I'm calling this fetching shade of mossy green for nothing? Well, I'll be. Sevrin scratched his head. Maybe dragons are a bit magical after all. The magic of camouflage, perhaps. Nevertheless, we must discuss my plan. Plan? What plan? What are you talking about, dragon? Why are you causing me so much trouble? It's no trouble. It's all a part of my scheme to give you your princess. Give me the princess. Sevrin stared at the dragon for a moment, searching his mind. I haven't the remotest idea of what you're talking about. Don't you remember? The dragon clasped his claws together. The one thing I desire is the beautiful Princess Desimone, it said in a high voice, batting its eyes as it spoke. You then proceeded to gush about her in the most disgusting manner. Sevrin stared at the dragon, a smile tugging at its lips. Was that supposed to be me? Good impression, right? No, Sevrin shook his head. Look, dragon, I told you it was a jest. You can't get me the princess. That's not how it works. But I've researched it. I now know all about human culture and have devised an absolutely brilliant plan. The dragon thrust his face into Severin's. You must hear it. Sevrin rolled his eyes. You're not going to stop until I listen to you, are you? Nope. Fine. What's your plan? Wonderful. The dragon danced on his tiptoes a bit. You'll be so pleased. I doubt it. First, I cause a little mayhem across the city, forcing your king to dispatch his knights with the promise that whoever defeats me will win the princess's hand. Once he does, you come, slay me, and the princess is yours. Simple. Meanwhile, I'll fade into the distance where no one in your city will ever see me again. The dragon sighed. A shame, really. I liked this land. Oh, boy. Sevrin rubbed the bridge of his nose. There is so much wrong with your plan, I don't know where to begin. There's nothing wrong with it. First of all, the king is not going to offer his daughter's hand. Oh, but he will. The dragon motioned to the mountain where Sevrin presumed his lair lay. I have dozens of books to corroborate my story. Would you like to borrow them? Oh, but can you read? I can read, but King James loves his daughter too much to give her away to anyone. It's a source of contention in our kingdom, actually. She won't choose a suitor, and he won't force her. People are afraid she won't get married. Let's agree to disagree, the dragon sniffed. He may change his tune when his daughter is in danger. She's not, of course. She'll be perfectly safe throughout this whole endeavor, but... He shrugged. Sevrin rolled his eyes. Secondly, what happens if one of those knights kill you? The dragon waved his paw. I'm a dragon. Humans can't hurt me. Tell it to your leg. That's different. The dragon tucked his leg behind him. A cowardly trap is one thing, but those dinky swords you all use are no match for my scales. Sevrin sighed in exasperation. Third, your plan is founded on a pack of lies, and I won't be a part of it. What's a little deception compared with winning the princess you dream about? Everything! Sevrin wagged his finger at the dragon. Because that's the fourth thing. I'm not trying to win the princess like she's some sort of prize. I couldn't live with myself knowing I'm the one who caused her all this trouble. Do you think I want her to be so anguished just so I can have her? How selfish do you think I am? Well, If she ever found out about this, Ruth, she'd be disgusted in me. Heck, I'm disgusted with me for letting you drag me into it. But I'm sure it will work, the dragon said. She won't find out if you don't tell her. You are insufferable, Sevrin inhaled through his nose. Let me ask you something, dragon. Would you ever treat a dragoness this way, lying and deceiving her, causing her distress to get what you wanted? The dragon stiffened. Its golden eyes shifted at their surroundings as he pondered the question. I do see your point. But how am I supposed to repay my debt to you? You saved my life, human. I have to do more than leave you alone. My dragonly honor depends on it. I've given it some thought, actually. Sevrin smiled at the dragon. You're a big dragon, so you can go into the forest and fly over the countryside to gather food so we can preserve it for winter. Food, that's it? Preferably grain, Sevrin nodded to himself. Grain keeps the best. I know it grows wild sometimes in the meadow. Gathering food is too easy. Maybe, but after our fields have been so damaged, we'll need the extra grain to make it through the winter. You do this, and you'll be saving our lives. We'll be even. I suppose. Still, the dragon looked at Sevrin askance. Sure there's nothing I can do to get you your princess? No, dragon, Sevrin sighed. She'd have to choose me of her own accord, and why would she ever consider a farmer? The dragon cocked his head. You seem like a good human to me. Maybe she needs to get to know you. That's what Mom says. Sevrin leaned on one of the tree trunks. She says I need to talk to her, but how? I only see her once a year and then only for a few minutes. The dragon lay down under the trees. The human life doesn't seem fair. It's not, but what can you do? Sevrin stood to his feet. I've been out here too long. I must do what Father asked of me. Perhaps he'll take me to the castle with him once I'm finished. I can't marry her, but that doesn't mean I can't admire the princess from afar. You promise to stop the mayhem? Yes, no more, I promise. The dragon made a face. I'll get you your grain. Thanks. Sevrin spun around, whistling as he made his way back to the house. There was one problem off his mind. Two, actually, if the dragon would stop attacking the city. He only hoped it was trustworthy enough to keep its word.